McCain. Now, one of the things that I think is very interesting about John McCain is this. I was thinking about, you know, some of his points of view, which he actually shifted from. Remember when this whole, which we were talking about, this whole home mortgage crisis thing came out, and the subprime loans and all of that? People remember that John McCain had decided that he wasn't for it. He didn't think people should get an opportunity to get the loans, whatever, but he was willing to bail out one of these big banks. This is what he said out of his own mouth. This is not a biased thing. So then what I did was I wanted to kind of look at what his economic policy and philosophy was. And the thing that I thought very interesting about that was that I looked at who was on his committee, one of his economic advisors, former Senator Phil Gramm. Well, people say, well, former Senator Phil Gramm, who's that? Well, he used to be in charge of the banking committee, okay? He was the one that changed all of the laws, and they changed the laws that they can do all this stuff with all of the banking and mergers and stuff like that, that affected and might have been the cause of why we have the subprime stuff in the first place. But have you heard the media even mention it? Look it up, the 1999 Act that he passed, that he helped to sponsor and pass. And of course now, no one is talking about Phil Gramm as his economic advisor. No one has even asked that question. Very interesting also that Phil Gramm's wife was on the board of directors of some committee that kind of gave Enron a pass. And then she left and joined Enron, became a director for Enron. And we know what happened with Enron, don't we? With millions of people. But has the press asked that question? They haven't even asked that question. Yet they're worrying about Reverend White with some nonsense or whatever. But we're talking about the economic future of America. This is somebody who is the economic advisor for a presidential candidate who is the candidate for the Republican Party. And ABC, Fox, NBC have not even asked him a question about it.
Yeah, well, you know, what's interesting about your point about he hasn't written a book about anybody else is it's similar to the comments that were made by Bob Johnson.